money.
This is Zip Squad, bitch.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.
Welcome to another episode of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are the voices of the squared circle, and this is a wrestling show by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Damn, I was a little rusty there.
Right, it's been a while since we've been back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm hoping this is a much anticipated return. It's a shorthanded return, but we're here.
Yes, hopefully, as I'm gonna introduce her now, the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Hashtag the vibe, 8 million nicknames.
Other nicknames later. Here, what about, you can call her Grandma, you can call her Latina Heat, you can call her the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling, you can call her the whole ass vibe, and the sad part is, you're not wrong on any of them.
No. Unfortunately, she is not with us at the moment. We are hoping that she'll pop back in. She will get back in on the show here. Ooh, excuse me, in a little bit. So, also joining me to this side, because there's only two of us, is the
Hopefully
producer.
it stays on the same side. I don't know why they'd switch it up.
I don't know. I've seen some crazy shit. I've done this.
I'm pointing both ways just in case.
I'm pointing here, but the person's actually down here
right
or up here. Like,
so I'm just doing one of these in case.
It's none other than the producer, the soundboard extraordinaire, the jack of all trades, the master of none, Dom.
The whole fucking show. God, I miss that music.
And me,
Him?
I am none other than the MJF Mark. I don't have my scarf on tonight. I feel bad.
Because it's silk season, so we got to get him some silk. That's the problem.
I don't have my silk yet.
We'll get it. We're working on it. I got some swap meet connections. We'll be all right.
I'm the high class one. The pinnacle of
Top
top rope
rope.
wrestling talk.
Can I say it? Can I say it? I was just about to say,
Yes.
Bruce.
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
Yes, I do.
See? So, yes, welcome back finally to another episode of Top Rope. It's been a crazy week, y'all. Wendy's been helping her mom move. I had a kid come home with a stomach virus and give it to me, and I'm still recovering from a hernia, so that all feels good right about now. Bruce might end up on his own, like, I gotta go, click.
Oh, no.
High class fly solo, click.
Oh, boy. I'll ramble something off.
But yeah, I guess since there's typically, three of us, I guess I should say we apologize 3,000 times. I don't.
Damn, that's a lot of apologies.
It's a lot. But we came back 2 Thursdays ago, and then we've just had stuff putting the show off, and it almost got put off again today. And then when we finally got to it, Grandma must have lost a lights out match to her bed. I don't know. She's taking a nap. I've been texting her like, "Come on, woman, it's time." Nothing. and we gave her a little extra time. Hopefully, maybe she'll wake up and see this and be like, "Oh shit," and join us. But fingers crossed, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, because that happened.
That being said, it's a pretty big week for wrestling. It was a pretty big week for like wrestling Twitter and throwback tweets and legends just popping off at the mouth, calling people out. And
Yeah.
I think the first one, as I'm trying to pull it up, that I'd like to discuss would be and I guess we could do this kind of in keep it or kill it form.
Okay.
Here we go. If everything wants to work for me, which is a huge if, that would be the... Where are you? You're not there. You're supposed to be there, but you're not there. Okay, one more sec. Sorry, guys. I'm working on it.
Are we there yet?
I wish.
How about now?
Technology loves to mess with me, guys. I think in this show has proved that. I'm just gonna read it. So
Okay,
Bret
read
Hart
it.
says, and I quote: "There's always some guys, that no matter what they do with them, you always wonder how they got there. And I never thought Triple H ever had an original idea for anything. And I always thought he was overrated. The only reason people even know him or remember him today is because of Daddy. I mean Daddy-in-law." Close quote. So, now that I've finally gotten that out there, and I apologize, guys, we're recording this, so joys of editing. Keep it or kill it. Bret Hart is right about Triple H.
I don't know.
It's a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. I've had time to think about it, and I'm still
I
trying
have
to pin down
too.
the
I
answer.
remember reading it. It's almost like 50-50.
It
Like
almost is.
it's like because like I stop and I think about it. Like, did Shawn really carry DX, or was it Triple H?
But you gotta think, at the beginning of DX, yeah, Shawn was carrying it, but then Shawn went out and went away and did not come back for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, DX got stronger and moved into these huge faction wars with the Nation. Triple H was out there, China, but the game was leading it from the moment it took off. Like it was big and childish and everything else. But when it got serious and it got real, Triple H was at the helm. So it's hard to take that away from him when...
He did have some pretty damn good matches.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing, Brett says he never had an original idea, and I don't know if it was just Vince McMahon saying, "Oh, take the sledgehammer, good shit, oh, let me Motorhead, oh, play his music." I don't know if that was him or if that was Triple H. Because if that wasn't Triple H, then how the hell has Triple H been so successful behind the scenes of NXT?
Mm-hmm.
I think the man's had a few original ideas there. I know some of them have been copied, whether you say War Games or whatever the fuck, but he's had some pretty good ideas for the talent in NXT. Doesn't work out, beyond that most of the time, but you can't blame him.
Nope.
So it is very close, but with this one, I'm kind of leaning 60-40 towards killing it. Because I've already shot holes in Bret Hart's quote.
Kill it.
All right, we're killing it. And please, if you guys have a differing opinion or you want to sound off, you can always leave the comments below. I haven't said that in so long.
Yeah,
Usually because we have a
below.
live chat. But even if we do and you didn't
Comments
catch us
below.
live, leave those comments right down below, right down here. So yeah, I mean, I get where Bret Hart's coming from. I can see it, but same time, I'm not buying it, Brett. Sorry, dude.
I'm not either.
And then, more recently, we had Mick Foley chime in on Twitter. I think this might have been yesterday, but don't quote me. And it was kind of short and sweet and to the point, so we're gonna get into it now. He said, "Dear Vince," An all-women's brand needs to happen in WWE, unless you want AEW to beat you to the punch. Sincerely, Mick. And he added Vince McMahon at the end of the chat, at the end of the tweet. So keep it or kill it. Does WWE need to create an all-women's promotion before AEW beats them to it?
Absolutely. They should have done it a long time ago. It should have been done a long time ago. Like that during that whole women's revolution that they had 2 years ago. Like that's when it should have happened. They gave them a pay-per-view, and it was a pretty darn good pay-per-view if I remember.
It was great, but that was another thing during that Mickie James thing with the trash bag and everything that came out. She was saying that the idea of an all-women's promotion had been nixed on many occasions, and that according to Vince McMahon, the powers that be at WWE, as good as Evolution was, it was one of the lowest rated pay-per-views in WWE history, and I can't believe that. I'm sure more people watched that than that Extreme Rules that just passed.
Yeah.
Because nobody watched that shit.
AEW's definitely gonna do it. They're open-minded enough that to do that.
Yeah, they really are, and it would be something if they were to do it first. They would be putting something out that nobody else is doing. No other major promotion has an all-women's. Well, yeah, Japan, but I'm talking about in the States. Nobody else. I mean, there are great divisions. NXT has a wonderful division. The Knockouts are a wonderful division. But nobody's got like an all-women's brand. Even Women of Wrestling went under. That was sad because I love the shit out of that show. Mm-hmm. So the only problem I see with AEW is it'd be hard to start a women's promotion with the talent you have now. Like, it would be easier for WWE to do it because they've got so many people on the main roster. Then they've got that whole NXT women's division if they want to dig out from it. And they can just bring people in because they've got unlimited power and funds. Just, here's your check. Ask Frankie Monet,
But here's the thing. They could do it next month if they wanted to. They're getting that third hour on TNT. That third hour could be the start of their all-women's show. An all-women's show.
True. You know what? I think you've convinced me then. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. They need to get on it before AEW does.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
I was going to say kill it because WWE has more talent and resources and everything else. But between what you said and then what I heard from Mickie James about all this, the idea of being nixed on several occasions and people complaining that Evolution was one of the worst draws for a pay-per-view ever, all that maybe WWE would drag their feet, and they just might. And if they do, it's just going to leave the door open for AEW. Mm-hmm. And I can see it happening.
Absolutely.
Because, God,
they're starting to get the talent that they need.
You know what I figured? Because Evolution is, what, 2 years ago now?
Something like that, 2-3 years.
2 or 3, give or take?
Yeah,
okay. I figured at least going into that show, we were going to get Evolution, and then we were going to get some kind of female program or promotion immediately following the pay-per-view to kind of like feed off of that momentum.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
And then it never happened. And from there, we've gotten a lot of things, but you kind of expected it at a point, and it just never happened.
Yep.
So I'm almost wondering if it would happen in WWE.
It will happen if it's forced to happen.
It will happen if AEW beats them to it.
Yes.
Because then all of a sudden AEW looks like the Revolution they said they were planning to be, and WWE looks like exactly what they said exactly what AEW said they were.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, then you'll have to do damage control. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And in just other small WWE news, it finally happened, guys. Roman Reigns no longer comes out to the Shield music.
Yeah, his new music sucks even worse.
I don't care, dude. It's not Shield music. That's all I give a shit about. I don't like Roman anyway. But I was so sick of hearing that just burn. like everybody else from the Shield has moved on, and Roman's still rolling to their music. He was wearing their gear for the longest time. He changed it up a little bit, and I was like, okay, but you're still coming out to that music. And then he got new music on Friday when he sent Daniel Bryan packing.
You know what I just thought about? Now think about this, like when tag teams or like trio teams split up, the one that keeps the music and the gimmick usually never makes it.
Right?
Look at the Rockers.
I was just about to say, look when Marty Jannetty split up with like Shawn Michaels, and he came out. He came out, and Marty would come out in the same gear to the same music, the whole nine, and where is he now? Where was he then?
Smoking Guns, Billy and Bart Gunn. When Billy left to become badass Billy Gunn, and Bart Gunn stayed Bart Gunn and came out to the cowboy music, and then he went in and got his brains beat in.
I was gonna say, I think the Brawl for All kind of ruined him worse than keeping the gimmick, because he was kind of, you know, I'm not saying he was completely established or like a main event kind of guy, but he was a solid mid-card talent on that Raw roster. And then the Brawl for All came, and then Butterbean showed up, and then Bart Gunn waved bye-bye. Yeah. Blame Vince Russo again.
But it's just it's funny to me that it's like Vince is trying to be like, yeah, no, Roman's gonna be the first one to break that mold of the guy that keeps the theme music and the gimmick
and gets
go anywhere
and becomes the guy. Yeah. That's it. Just shows you the affinity that Vince has for Roman. I don't know quite why, but he does, and it's proven time and time and time again.
Yeah, dude. I don't know who posted it in group, and you know it really doesn't matter. But it kind of got to me. It was I think it was the gentleman that posts a lot of the art, and he said, or it was just someone that posted art of Roman, and it said Roman hasn't been pinned or submitted since 18, 19. And I read that, and I said, I was like, okay,
true.
But he didn't wrestle in 2020.
I was going to say, he barely wrestled in 2020, and he's had half a dozen matches since he came back.
He had 3 matches in 2020.
In that time, he's probably 7 or 8-0. You know, it sounds impressive when you put a date to it, but when you look at how many matches he's actually had, it's a little different. And they also kind of missed him going like this to Daniel Bryan at Fastlane, so there's that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that he hasn't tapped, just nobody caught him doing it, except me. Because am I one of the few people that watch Fastlane? I didn't live. I went back and watched the replay on Peacock, and even that was annoying. But still. Don't get me started on Peacock again. You want to know my feelings, go back to the live watch-along for TakeOver Night 2.
Peacock's still a new app. It's not even a year old yet.
Well, it's got a lot of work to do.
It's
got a lot of work to do, bro.
I like it.
But yeah, and the other reason I brought that up is just I don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Bryan next. I don't know if he's just going to go behind the scenes and work at SmackDown like he had been doing. I don't know if he's going to go to Raw. I don't know what's going to happen, but if this is...
Who's the champion on Raw?
Bobby.
Oh, Bobby Lashley. That's right.
But if this is the last time that we see Daniel Bryan in a WWE ring, I just got to take a minute and say, fuck, thank you, Daniel. It's hard to argue that the last several years, Daniel Bryan was not one of the highlights of WWE. One of the things that you tuned in for to see, all the way back to, the WrestleMania in New Orleans that he turned into Yeselmania and had all the fans in the ring doing the yes chant and getting his mat and the B+ player bullshit. Even through Team Hell No and all that saga and everything, all his yes, no, back and forth, I'm crazy, I'm good, I'm bad gimmicks. I mean, he he kind of gave WWE a shot in the arm when they needed it. And I think I've said it before.
Multiple occasions.
And I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Obviously, this is not the first wrestling podcast that Brucey and I have done together. But the first one we did together, Daniel Bryan was the actual logo for the show.
Yeah. 8-bit Daniel Bryan.
8-bit Daniel Bryan doing the yes.
Doing the yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we both
I put
have...
that there. That was all me.
Right? That was all Brucey. I loved it. I was like, this is perfect. So we have a long-standing affinity for Daniel Bryan. So if this is the last we see of him in WWE, we're just in a ring in general. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. You have entertained me, not just there, but you brought me back to WWE at a point, because I was like, fuck, I'm done.
He's gonna make Bobby tap.
That would be hilarious. If he's the one that makes Bobby tap. I'll love it, but it would be hilarious.
Right?
But I had to bring it up so I could get that into. I couldn't help myself. And so we're gonna change gears a little bit. We actually kind of nailed the predictions for Rebellion, most of them.
We did.
Well, at least Wendy and I had said the Knockouts tag team titles would change, and they did. I think Brucey and I had said Josh Alexander was going to win the X Division title, and he did. As a group, we pretty much nailed it. I think I might have been the most right of all of us, but that's typical. but one of the matches that was never really in any doubt was Kenny Omega winning both Impact TNA titles at Rebellion. Which is, you know,
4 championships right now.
Yeah, 4. 4. He's got the whole, this part of the gauntlet right here.
Yeah.
Which, congratulations, Kenny, that's great. But the first thing that came to my mind was, and maybe it'll work this time. I don't know, but I'm gonna try. I think I posted something about this in our right here in Top Rope on Facebook. Please come join us.
Yes.
But I'll ask the same question here if Brucey can see the picture.
Oh yeah.
We have several title collectors, which I will go through for those of you tuning in on our many podcast platforms. We have, of course, Kenny Omega.
There's only one choice on the screen. I just want you to know that.
We have Kurt Angle. We have Ultimo Dragon. And then we have Austin Aries. Out of these 4, which one do you consider to be the best title collector of all?
There's only one right answer, Dom.
And I'm pretty sure I know that right answer.
There's only one right answer.
Let's just end the suspense.
That's Ultimo Dragon.
Damn right it is. I was going to say that.
There's only one right answer.
Dead ass. Absolutely. I think if I had to rank them, I'd probably go Ultimo Dragon, Kenny, Kurt, and then Austin Aries dead last.
I think it'd be Ultimo, Kurt, Kenny, and then Aries.
Wow. I mean,
just because Kurt got the opportunity to have the IWGP title.
No, Kurt's was impressive. It's just with him and Austin Aries, Kurt was having problems in the middle of that title collection, and Austin Aries ended up like voted off the face of the earth shortly after becoming the belt collector. So it kind of takes them down a peg for me. But Kurt's was impressive as hell. I mean, he held every TNA championship there was. He was heavyweight champ, he was X Division champ, he was one half of the tag champs, and then he went to Japan and beat Brock Lesnar to become IWGP heavyweight champion at the time. So it was damn impressive. It was just, you know, Kurt had some demons that he was facing, and his marriage was falling apart, and there were a lot of things going on in the background during that. And so it takes a little bit away from me. That's why I put Ultimo first, because he's the OG collector.
Dude, he was the first, like...
Seriously, he was like the one that you knew when you thought title collect, because like when Angle started doing it, that was probably the next one that I remembered. And when he started doing it, the first person I thought of was Ultimo Dragon. And then when Austin Aries did it, I didn't think of Kurt Angle. even though it was the same promotion, I thought Ultimo Dragon. And then when Kenny now has four stones on the gauntlet, immediately my mind goes to Ultimo Dragon.
I remember when he come out in WCW with all them fucking titles.
Right? How did he hold all those? Did you see? He had like 15 titles. I have 2, and I don't want to hold them at the same time. I'm not supposed to lift anything over 12 pounds. The NWA is 10 pounds of gold alone. I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta go back to the hospital. Sorry, y'all. Ultimo's got like 15 belts. He's gotta be tired when he hits that ring, man. How do you not beat him? He's just, fuck.
Yeah.
But he was such a goddamn legend. He is such a goddamn legend. Shout out to Ultimo Dragon, man. That guy's got to be the best collector. Now that we've gotten that out of the way,
Yes.
moving on to the next question, because obviously Kenny has these belts, and they're putting together. Impact is putting together a 6-way match to determine a number 1 contender at their next pay-per-view, which is Under Siege. They love Steven Seagal movies at Impact. We got Hard to Kill. We got Under Siege. You know, like they love Steven Seagal movies at Impact. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe he's part owner.
Maybe he is. Maybe he's like a silent partner. I don't know. But somebody loves him there. That's all I know. I don't, but somebody loves him.
Dude, he was the shit back in the 90s.
He was the shit for a while, and then he really fell off.
Oh,
Like reality shows and weight problems. But I digress.
Yeah.
The question becomes, who do we see being either the guy, or it is Impact, so I guess we should say the superstar, the wrestler that brings the Impact and TNA titles home? Like, who's going to beat Kenny Omega and take both those belts back to Impact?
Ooh. Oh, wow.
Because I had a thought about this last week, but I
would
wanted to hold
love
it
for
in.
it to be James Storm.
Oh, that would be that would be fitting. That would be fitting. Because James Storm has had now, 1,002 matches in a TNA Impact ring. So he's like, I know Moose calls himself Mr. Impact Wrestling, but he's not.
The only other person that I would like to see do it besides James Storm would be Samoa Joe.
Oh, yes. Yes. You know what else I thought for Joe? As we were talking about him last week, and then as soon as we stopped and we got off and we ended the show, it popped into my head. Nick Aldis, a couple weeks back on Power, had said, doors are wide open. You want a shot at the top, at the champ? You want a spot in Strictly Business? Come on in. Could you imagine, like, 3 months from now, Nick Aldis is standing in the ring, you know, after a match holding up the 10 pounds of gold, and all of a sudden from behind, Joe slides in a ring and just snatches him. And chokes his ass out. And then they go into some pay-per-view like in August or something and have an NWA title match. So that's one of the few belts that Samoa Joe has never won. I mean, obviously he was never WWE champion, but outside of WWE, he's won everything there is to fucking win, but he's never won Charlotte. So I think that would be kind of cool. Now, as far as Impact goes, I had a name going through my head last week when we were talking about Rebellion, but I didn't want to jump the gun. Because what if, you know, slight chance, there's a glitch in the Matrix that Rich Swann wins. But I wanted to let it play out. Now that it has played out, I was thinking this last week. I'm definitely thinking it after this week. Sami Callihan's going to be the guy. Because going back to when AEW started and Chris Jericho won the titles and a little bit of the bubbly popped up and all that, if you recall, Sammy was the Impact champion at that point.
Yeah.
And he went after AEW and Jericho something hard on social media. Like, bubbly's for bitches. I'm the Impact champ. I'm the draw. I drink beer like a fucking man. You know, all this shit. Called him out. The whole nine.
I remember.
So now Sami Callihan is trying to qualify this week for this six-man match against Eddie Edwards, no less. So of course you know it's a great match. And who should jump the ring to fuck it up but Kenny and the Good Brothers? and they
I
jump
love
Sammy. They don't go after Eddie. They jump Sammy. So technically, Sammy won. That's a DQ. Sammy wins.
Yeah.
They might have jumped him, but they also advanced him one step closer to this match. So not only from the history with Sammy being Impact champ at the same time and calling out Chris Jericho and calling out the Inner Circle when he had a faction of his own, but then I feel like there's two other guys that have a bit of a history with Sammy that have a bit of a problem with Kenny and the Good Brothers that might have his back if he decides to go after Kenny. Obviously, Mox and Kingston.
The duo that no wrestling fan deserves because they're so fucking awesome.
But we are so thankful to have. And now could you imagine adding the Draw to that duo and coming up with a trio from hell? Like, you got the Mad King, you got the Death Machine, and you got Mox.
That group
The Mad Violent Death Machine Kings. I don't know.
Right? Like, that group would be friggin' amazing. That group would be better than the Shield any day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. By far.
You know.
By far.
Yeah. And if that means Sammy gets to come to Dynamite, that's freaking amazing.
Exactly. Could you imagine, like, Sammy comes to Dynamite to get back at Kenny, Good Brothers run in, next thing you know, here comes Mox and Kingston.
Yeah.
Now, lo and behold, look at what we have here. A bunch of hardcore deathmatch motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about anything, including themselves.
Or we could have... It could have been something where the Good Brothers and Kenny are beating down Mox and Kingston, and then we see Sammy come out of nowhere and slide in the ring and even the odds.
Right? Either way,
it's fucking gold.
Either way, this is some shit we never thought we were going to get on, like, national TV, that we're probably going to get on national TV. And I know it's not set. I know this is just a theory at this point. But if and when it happens, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. I'm going to lose what little psycho mind I have left. I'm just going to be out there, y'all. You're not going to know.
And here's the thing. Don't be surprised if it doesn't happen on Blood and Guts.
Right?
Because Kingston and Mox got a tag match between Kenny and Nakazawa.
Here's the thing that I can't figure out about Blood and Guts now that you brought it up. I don't know how they're going to actually do it. Are they going to do it all like WCW style where the ring and the cages are just there at all times? Or are they going to do it NXT style where like the cage is up in the air and everybody fights in the ring, and then when it's time for the actual match, they drop the cage?
No problem. Well,
I'm hoping
they're
every
at
match...
Daly's place, so...
Yeah. So I'm hoping every match is just 2 rings and cage and everybody gets in it. Like men, women, whoever. Marco Stunt is going to get thrown into that cage, and I'm going to laugh. I don't think he's on the card, but I want to see it happen anyway.
No, actually, I think Jurassic Express is on the card.
I got to pull it back
there's a tag
because we
team
are going to
eliminator.
preview that, by the way. Stay tuned, folks.
There's a tag team eliminator.
Ah, okay. Okay, so they might be on it. I'll pull up the card in a minute because we're definitely going to preview that.
Yes.
I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit because I'm too excited about this whole, possible Mox, Kingston, Callahan connection. Just. I'm a fan of Sammy. I'm a fan of Jess. I've got her freaking autographed picture up here on my wall. Okay. I can't help myself. And by the way, thank you, Peter. So we are transitioning a little bit into the AEW portion of the show. We are going to preview Blood and Guts. But speaking of Peter, who we love, he had mentioned something, and even our one of our mods, Andrew, had brought something up about AEW, and even though it's new, what would you change, basically? And PETA had been saying the same thing that I've been saying for the last few weeks. If I had to change anything about AEW, I'd probably say, for starters, how about you just let Darby Allin be Darby Allin? I know he's TNT champ, But ever since he's won that TNT championship, he's either been up in the rafters pretending to be Sting, or he's out here every week having open challenge matches that he wins by this much, which I feel like Cody Rhodes already did.
Yeah.
So for starters, let Darby Allin be Darby Allin. On top of that, if you say you're the Revolution, don't do with your TNT title what WWE is doing with the United States title. It's Darby Allin. It's not John Cena. We do not need an open challenge every fucking week.
No.
There's a ranking system, right? Pick somebody from the ranking system, have a match, and if Darby loses, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because, and I think Bruce would agree with me, I don't feel like Darby Allin is the kind of guy that needs to have a title to be relevant.
He definitely doesn't.
Because look at everything leading up to him winning that TNT title. He was tremendous. He was one of their biggest draws. And did he have a belt? No. But he was having these, hardcore Cracker Barrel matches and pay-per-views with, like, Jelly and Jimmy Havoc. He was, doing all this crazy shit, bringing out the skateboard with thumbtacks, coats with thumbtacks, doing all this wild shit, having this big program with Cage where there's body bags and all kinds of shit involved. And it was all great. And people really loved him. What I always say, check tape. Go back to our very first AEW Awards show. Right here at Fox 10 Productions. Go back to the very first one. I think it was the end of 2019 going into 2020. And we all picked our AEW Rising Stars. And I picked Darby Allin. Of course, Brucey picked MJF.
Of course.
Duh. And we couldn't decide on one, so we put it out to the people on social media, to Top Rope on Facebook, to Top Rope WT on Twitter, to the whole nine. And everybody agreed Darby Allin was the rising star. He didn't have a belt then. He didn't need it. He was the star.
Right.
And he still can be. So just let Darby be Darby. He doesn't have to be this unbeatable machine. And he doesn't have to be Cody Rhodes. And he doesn't have to be Sting. Because the last time I checked, you already have guys like that.
Mm-hmm.
So let him be Darby. And stop pretending like you're WWE. This isn't the U.S. title. You don't have to have open challenges for it every fucking week. If you have a ranking system, use it. Come up with something different. Hell, fuck. Put it on Scorpio Sky. Didn't you just have him win a match that made him the face of the Revolution? Shouldn't he have gotten a title by now?
Right.
I'm just saying. I was asked if you could change something. That's what I would change.
Like, for me, like, with what you're talking about, they should have made it literally just like a television title. If they're going to have open challenges every week, so you don't even need to call it an open challenge. Just make it part of the title.
Yes, because the TNT Championship is a fancy name for a television title. And then you have these weekly ranking systems, right? Okay, so you have the number one contender, and they're getting the shot at the AEW title eventually. Okay, how about number two gets a TNT title shot that week?
That's what's supposed to
You can still have a match every week. It does not have to be an open challenge where you just pick somebody from the Dark Order and make them look like shit. Like these last few weeks, the match with Matt Hardy and the match with 10, I said the same thing in our live discussion threads at Top Rope on Facebook. And that was, is it bad that I don't care about this match at all because I already know what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be a great match, and Darby's going to get killed, but he's going to win. And I already know that going in, so why am I going to sit here for 20 minutes?
Darby made 10 look good.
He did. But if you ask me...
10 was amazing as well.
He was. He definitely was. But if you ask me, I say John Silver should have took it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, John Silver came out in his Brody tribute gear. Give him the title. Even if Darby wins it back a few weeks later, who cares? Like, keep it interesting. Don't have me sitting here 2 weeks in a row going, you know what, I know this match is going to be great, and I could care less because I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I was doing that with Cody Rhodes a little bit. The only difference was Cody was bringing in some people, and the matches themselves were a little different. The opponents were a little different. This just feels like we're doing the same thing over and over again. You already know the result.
Yeah.
Before it even happens. Where with Cody, you thought, like, oh, Eddie Kingston could beat him. Like, Ricky Starks, that guy was amazing in NWA. He might have a shot. Like, you see these last couple of matches with Matt Hardy and 10, and you're like, there's no way these guys are winning before they even hit the ring.
Yeah, it's getting pretty predictable with Darby. Absolutely. Like,
And that's the point. I'm not a fanboy of anyone. If somebody asks me what I would do to change AEW, I'm going to tell you just like I did. It's not that I don't like it. I love AEW, but it does have its problems. And it has its problems because it's not even 2 years old yet. So they will figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Like, if you ask me what I would change about WWE, we'd need a very, very, very long show. And a very big pot of coffee for Brucey and I.
Yes. That would be a long show.
Like, if anybody ever wondered if we could do a 24-hour stream, ask us that question, provide us with all the coffee we need, and we got you.
Yeah.
There will never be a dull moment. But if you ask me what I would like to change about AEW, that would be it. I mean, do you have anything else that you'd like to change about AEW there, Brucey?
Man, I don't know. I would like to see. I'd like to see the ranking system. But I guess if you look at it, they use the ranking system mostly for like pay-per-views.
Right. And they definitely
Like-
used it in Britt
like-
Baker's recent storyline. You know, like as soon as
Yeah.
Ty Conti lost, poor thing. Here comes Britt Baker to point out she's number one.
Yeah, that was awesome. She's amazing.
And she went from calling them the bogus rankings to the legitimate, bona fide, genuine rankings as soon as she hit number one.
Yes. Yes.
I keep telling her. I'll say it again. I did not like Britt. I did not like Britt Baker at all when she first debuted, and I fucking love her now.
She found her niche.
She grew. She became what she was supposed to be, and now she might be in that upper echelon with Sheeta because they seem to be the untouchables there, and everybody else kind of just, leaps up, comes back down, leaps up, comes back down. You know, Nyla had her minute. Ty Conti was on a run there for a minute. You know, but at the end of the day, it seems like Sheeta and Britt are untouchable. You know, I mean, Britt's number one, and she lost that damn match to Thunder Rosa, but she's still number one. That's how untouchable she is.
My thing is like, Jade's gonna get a shot soon.
Yes, you would think.
Do I think Britt Baker could beat her? No.
Not really. Maybe with some heel tactics,
It would have to be, but here's the thing: Jade is a heel as well, and a heel on heel match, you come out with a baby face, and you don't want either of those two as
You know what
baby
I could see. Obviously, it would take a little bit, but I could see, like, let's say somewhere, let's say Britt beats Sheeta at like Double or Nothing this month. Skip ahead to like July. Britt Baker is defending her title against Jade Cargill, and ref gets knocked out. Reba tries to get involved, she gets cleared, and all of a sudden here's Chelsea Green with a chair,
That would be awesome.
and she's now part of like Britt's clique.
I'd rather see the Iconics.
I would too, but I don't know if I want to see him in AEW. We had that talk. I'm just saying, could you imagine, like, just Chelsea comes out, clocks her back of the head with a chair, Britt gets the pin, Chelsea runs off and joins up with her Reba, whatever the fuck you want to call her.
Rebel.
I like that. We're gonna have to put that on a shirt. Rebel with her face. Oh, note that for Kirby later. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, otherwise, AEW is a great show. I think they're doing a great job. I think Impact is doing a great job. I know a lot of Impact fans right now, knowing that I am one, have come at me saying like, well, don't you think this partnership with AEW is a little bit unfair? And I'm like, how? Like, one of them even said, well, they really didn't promote a lot of Impact's pay-per-view until like the week of. And I'm like, I understand. And my response was simple, like, I understand that. But you got to remember that when Tony Khan appears on Access TV or Twitch on an Impact show, he says, and it's true, he's paying for that time.
Mm-hmm.
He's paying Impact and Anthem to appear and have that spot to promote his show on their time.
Mm-hmm.
Anthem and Impact did not do that until the week of Rebellion, which is why they didn't run any spots for it until the Wednesday Dynamite right before Rebellion weekend. So, if it feels unfair, it's not really AEW's fault. Anthem's the one cutting the checks. They're the ones that are making Tony Khan pay to be on their show and do his spots. They don't want to do the same thing to get publicity on national television. Now, Tony Khan is paying for Access and Twitch, but then Anthem expects Impact promotions to go out on TNT for free. You think the Khan family got where they were by being that fucking gullible? Seriously.
The thing is like, you know, the dude saying that Impact didn't get, AEW didn't do stuff for Impact and all of this shit. Like, hey, dumbass, this last pay-per-view, Rebellion, was the highest grossing Impact pay-per-view in the last 10 years.
Right?
Because of Kenny Omega.
I know. That's, you know, it's like, I get that Impact fans are mad because another guy is taking their titles and walking out and that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's putting more eyes on your product.
Mm-hmm.
And you know somewhere down the line that someone is going to come along and take those titles back from Kenny Omega. It's going to happen. And I think Sami Callihan's going to be the guy to do it. And I think he's going to do it possibly on an AEW pay-per-view. And then imagine how many eyes are going to be on your product. So I get where you're coming from, Impact fans, but if you're mad now, just give it a few months. I know a lot of people say this about WWE, and I don't want to be one of those people that say it, but let it play out. Let someone come along and be that hero that snatches those belts from Thanos himself and brings them home.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe, it could be.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, they are teasing Samoa Joe at Slammiversary.
And Chelsea Green.
And Chelsea Green.
And the Iconics.
Iconics, Naito, the Great Muta. Even Okada popped up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, really? Really? Because a lot of the people that they said they were bringing in last year showed up.
Yeah.
They had been showing clips of like Eric Young and James Storm and Heath Slater and you know, a lot of the guys that got cut by WWE or were free agents. And come Slammiversary, there they were live on pay-per-view. So maybe Joe's gonna be killing people in Impact. Maybe a few others will. Maybe. Possibly.
I could see it happening.
I could totally see it happening. I'm a little worried about the whole Naito and Muta and Okada thing because they all had time in Impact and it did not go well.
But that was the old Impact.
Okay, of course. That might have even been, you know, the old TNA days prior to them becoming Impact. So
I think that was when Okada was the Kato character.
Maybe. But I do know that like they haven't worked with that company in a while, but now they're starting to funnel some guys back through. They're starting to bring in Finjuice and I think is it Phantasma that's going to be
Phantasma, yeah.
That's going to be showing up next.
Yep.
You know, so it
Bullet
looks
Club.
like they've kind of, you know, redeveloped that relationship with New Japan that was severely fractured about a decade ago. So cool. You know, it means more for us. I'm still a little disappointed no GOD, but okay. Maybe later. You know, I'm not gonna pull a Bruce and you'd be like, I wanted and you didn't give me.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, don't even. Don't make me say check tape.
Yeah. Go back to the tape.
Oh, I will, sir. I will.
Yeah, I don't know what reason Naito or Okada would have for going. Muda is Muda. He does whatever the fuck he wants. But the other two, like, why?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But, I mean, even... I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, guys. It's been a shitty week. But New Japan's new president has said he wants his talent to be able to work everywhere. Like, he doesn't want them to just feel like they have to be, you know, stuck in Japan. He wants them to be able to go to the States. He wants them to work other promotions. He wants to get more eyes on their wrestlers and their product. So, what better way than sending them to Impact, you know, or AEW, or wherever.
I actually think Moxley has a U.S. title match coming up on Dynamite.
He does, actually. He's got a, he's defending the IWGP US title, which I kind of forgot that he had. Sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Against Yuji Nagata, who's a fucking legend. So I'm extremely excited for that. Like, I can't believe, because honestly, it's the first time I've seen AEW show him with that particular belt.
Second time.
Was it?
When not Hideo, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, no, don't
when
go there.
Kenta,
When Kenta, very good. When Kenta showed up. Okay, I didn't know they showed him with the title. I knew they showed Kenta with the briefcase, but I couldn't remember them showing Moxley with a title.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, he's still got it, and he will be defending against Yuji Nagata on Dynamite, which I think is great, and it just, again, proves the point that, like, New Japan's new president wants these guys out there, wants people to see them, wants people to, you know, it wants new eyes on his talent, and this is the way to do it. And it's the same thing with Impact and AEW. A lot of people are watching now that weren't. Like Brucey said, Rebellion was your most purchased pay-per-view in 10 years.
Yeah.
So before you get too upset, you know, all of this means good things for the future of Impact Wrestling. Remember that. That's, you know, that it's headed in the right direction. These things will change. It will correct themselves. You will have your titles back at some point.
It's getting them that much closer to being live on live TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it really is. And, oh God, and speaking of companies working together, Chris on Facebook brought this to my attention, and I've seen multiple reports since.
Okay.
Apparently, WWE has contacted MLW to provide talent for an Evolve type show on Peacock as like an NXT alternative, and I quote.
Don't do it.
I was gonna say
Don't
keep
do
it or kill it, but I think you and I are in the same boat, and that's just. I don't want to see it happen. Even Chris asked me, do I think it would happen? And I said, hell no. And when he asked me why, I said, MLW has done everything to try to grow since they came back after pandemic. They just got a network deal on Vice. They're now talking about bringing Aztec Underground in as a second show.
Yeah.
They're going on live U.S. national television, even if it is Vice. What would make them want to all of a sudden jam on the brakes and work with WWE? It would either, at best, it's going to stunt the growth they've made, or it's going to fucking kill it.
It's going to kill MLW. They're going to steal their talent.
Yeah,
They're gonna take Fatu. They're gonna take Hammerstone. They're gonna take friggin'
Mads Kruger. Anybody that's big.
Yeah.
Calvin Tankman, you're coming with us. You know, King Mo, we can do something with you. You know, Tom Lawler, we love you. Oh God, no. And that's another.
No, he can go to WWE. He's fine there.
He's got that New Japan Strong openweight title now. Oh my god.
So pissed.
If the stomach bug wasn't bothering me enough, I'd want to puke over that alone.
I don't
So
get it
mad.
with him.
I don't either.
get it.
I never did. I never will. And it doesn't help at all that he now wrestles in Daisy Duke shorts. I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it.
That's your boy. That's your favorite.
Not my favorite. You know who my favorite is.
Roman.
And it damn sure ain't Tom Lawler. I'm Meat Castle all the way, baby. Hammerstone all day, every day, twice on Sunday.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't want to see that happen. I just don't. I think it would be a horrible idea for MLW. I mean, I think it would definitely help WWE a little bit, but this is not a partnership like, say, AEW or New Japan and Impact, where it looks like it's going to mutually benefit both sides. Mm-hmm. This is something where WWE will just suck whatever they can out of MLW and spit them out and leave them for dead so that they can move on and get bigger, better, and get another $1 billion deal to have their content taken off air.
Pretty much.
It's a bad
That's pretty
idea.
much it, yeah.
It's a bad idea for MLW all around. And I'll say the same thing about Court Bauer that I said about Tony Khan and the Khan family. He did not get to where he is by being that fucking gullible.
Yeah.
Court Bauer is a very smart man. He's taken a very small independent promotion and he's grown it to the point where it is now going to be viewed on national television. He's not going to risk that for WWE. He's just not. He doesn't need to.
You know what I was just thinking? Like, take all the wrestling organizations and like they're like kids on a playground. Like WWE's that one kid that nobody wants to play with.
Yeah. Yeah. WWE's like the really big kid who kind of bullies you but then still wants to be your buddy. And
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you, dude.
You pick on me today and tomorrow you're nice to me? Yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah,
And meanwhile, the cool kids are in the corner, and they're all like AEW and Impact and New Japan and that kind of stuff. And then like MLW's like the cool loner in the corner, like, yeah, but we got AAA, you know.
yeah.
You know, we're coming up with Aztec Underground. Fuck y'all. That's what I mean. They could have got in on this AEW and Impact thing. They could have got in on all of this. They haven't. And now all of a sudden they're going to jump in with WWE? No.
Yeah, no.
No, folks. I'm sorry. I know there's been multiple reports. I know Uncle Dave said it, but no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Uncle Sycho says no. Okay.
No.
We need that on a shirt, too. Uncle Sycho says no. I'm on fire with the gimmicks tonight. But yeah,
no.
It just, since we were talking about these promotions and the alphabet soup, that popped back into my head, and I know Chris asked us a lot of questions, and recently with all my troubles, I kind of forget to put him in the show, and I feel bad because I love Chris, but we got it in this time, dude. I hope you're watching. So, with that all being said, I think we can jump into our preview of the upcoming Blood and Guts show. I can't call it a pay-per-view, even though it's got a pay-per-view card.
Right.
Which, this is something I wouldn't change about AEW, by the way. Keep your pay-per-views every few months and throw a show on television that's going to actually feel like a pay-per-view. I enjoy the hell out of that. We were just talking about in group. We were talking about Backlash and how this year it's WrestleMania Backlash. Last year it was the greatest wrestling match ever. And somebody asked me if I thought Backlash needed to go bye-bye. And my answer was fuck yeah. Because after a show like WrestleMania, if they did something like AEW did, where they put a big show together, but it wasn't pay-per-view. If they brought back like Taboo Tuesday and they just had this big pay-per-view quality show on a Tuesday, I'd be down. Yeah. But WrestleMania Backlash, nothing but rematches, that type of shit. Nah. The greatest wrestling... Shut up.
Oh, we're
Now
gonna
shut up.
At least we're gonna get Bianca Belair versus Bayley.
We are, and that's going to be cool. That's going to be very cool. But still, I feel like we could do without Backlash. If they did a show like AEW is doing this Wednesday after WrestleMania and made it like pay-per-view quality, but put it on USA, gave NXT the night off. We're doing this instead. We're even just adding them into it. We're going to, Karrion Kross is going to defend the NXT title, that type of shit. Be a huge show, be on national TV. People will probably want to watch and enjoy. Backlash, people are probably not going to watch it, and even if they do, they probably won't enjoy it. At least not most of it.
I was thinking about it, but
I know, I'm comparing promotions again. I shouldn't do that, but fuck it, I do anyway. So anyway,
it happens.
I had to get that out too. I'm sorry. I know, my bad. Bad Sycho. On to AEW Blood and Guts.
Yes.
It really does have a very good, very pay-per-view quality card. First off, we have the 4-way tag team match for a future AEW title shot. With SoCal Uncensored taking on Jurassic Express, taking on the Varsity Blondes, and the Acclaimed. Now keep in mind, if SCU loses a match, they're done.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said that like end of
But
2020.
here's the thing. In that match, is it an elimination match or is it a straight up 16?
It does not say here.
So it's probably just a straight up 16 tag match.
Yeah, this says 4-way, so I'm not sure.
4-way, that's what I meant.
Okay. I thought maybe I had the wrong card up. I was like, oh,
No.
no, but that's to be. It's probably if it's a fatal 4-way and SCU doesn't get pinned,
That's exactly
then they're
what
good.
I was gonna say. Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think they're gonna have an eliminate unless SCU were to win it. But anyway, between SCU, Jurassic Express, which did they say who from Jurassic Express? I gotta look at that too. I'm sorry,
it's
guys.
probably Jungle Boy.
Oh, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. No Marco. Between Jurassic Express, SCU, the Acclaimed, and the Varsity Blondes. Who do you got winning this one?
I think it's gonna be, man, because this is so tough.
It is.
I actually think the Acclaim's gonna win.
Wow. That would be a kind of a shocking upset.
They're on such a rise, even though I can't fucking stand them, but they're on a rise.
They're a very good young tag team. They've got a little work to do.
I like Top Flight better.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, one of them's injured, so.
I know.
But they'll be back. See, that's the thing. Like, my heart wants to say Jurassic Express because I love Luchasaurus and he's so fucking underutilized. But my head is saying SCU. Because you gotta think SCU after Dynamite and the confrontation with the Bucks and all that will eventually get in the ring with them and say Double or Nothing. And it'll be, if they win, they're well, Frankie's 2-time tag champ. If they lose, they're done. That's that's big stakes at a pay-per-view that is kind of their flagship. So, as much as I want to get in my feels and say Jurassic Express, I'm going to say SCU.
Okay.
I feel like if we're building to Double or Nothing, which is like a little over 3 weeks away.
Holy shit.
Right. Like this will happen on May 5th. And then I think maybe within 2 or 3 weeks we have Double or Nothing. So you got to think the winner here gets the shot there. That's why I'm going with SCU. All right, let's see. The next match we have, and I don't see this going well. Kenny Omega and Michael Nakazawa taking on Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
So, Moxley and Kingston win by disqualification, and then Sami Callihan comes out and helps them.
That would be the coolest way that this could go. I was laughing because I see this happening completely different. I see this being one of those matches where
Kenny throws him to the wall.
Nakazawa's getting killed, and he just happens to get an opportunity to tag, and he's crawling for that corner, and Kenny just jumps off the apron and walks away.
Makes Brandon Cutler wrestle for him.
Leaving poor Nakazawa to die at the hands of the Mad King and Mox. Therefore, I'm taking the Mad King and Mox.
Well, I took them too. They still won, but it was just.
Oh no, I know your way is way cooler, but I was laughing because I could see Kenny just leaving and letting poor oily Nakazawa get his ass kicked.
Bleh.
Just bleh. Thank God he doesn't do much of that anymore. Who knows? We might see it again in Blood and Guts though. Bleh. Bleh. You're about to see my guts if I think about it. All right. That's weird. They have Britt Baker scheduled for a singles match, but
didn't say who.
Her opponent is to be announced.
Yeah.
Who would they be bringing in at this point to take on Britt Baker?
I have no idea.
Like, is this where we get like maybe like Big Swole popping up again?
That would be nice.
Because she did come back for a minute and then kind of disappeared again. I know things with her have been tough because if you followed her, if you heard the undesirable, undeniable story, she has Crohn's disease, and the meds that she takes attacks her immune system, which is not good in the middle of a pandemic. So it's hard for her to make public appearances and do all these things and keep her treatments going at the same time. So maybe she got her shots and now she can get back on the meds. So maybe it's Swole. I would love to see that rivalry again. They put on a hell of a, back and forth in a match.
They absolutely did. Yeah.
I can't see it being Sheeta this soon.
No, I don't.
The only other thing I can think is they bring like Thunder Rosa back in.
No, it's not going to be Thunder Rosa.
They bring in somebody from Impact or something. Like, I don't know.
That would be pretty cool.
But I don't even know who they. Oh, imagine if they brought like Jordan Grayson to fight Britt Baker.
Yeah, but here's the thing: does Impact want Jordan Grace losing a match? And does would AEW want? Yeah, because Britt can't lose this match.
Well, again, heel tactics. Jordan's lost a lot of matches because of Deanna and her little clique in Impact. So if Reba helps Britt win, it's kind of right up her alley. I'm not saying it would happen, but it's just an educated guess, really.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Either way, this one's kind of hard to pick. I mean, I guess I'd go with Britt because she can't, like you said, she can't lose this match.
No, she can't. She's got a title match coming up with Sheeta. She can't lose.
Not on the heels of a title match with Sheeta. She can't lose at Blood and Guts. So I'm gonna take Britt either way. I'm just gonna be really interested to see who the actual opponent is. Like
Tony Schiavone.
That'd be like Tony's wet dream.
Maybe think of that shit.
I just got Bruce to feel the way I've been feeling. All right, let's see. So we got the Britt match out of the way. We got that. Okay, so we have Cody Rhodes with, of course, Arn Anderson taking on QT Marshall with his entire factory behind him between Nick Comoroto, Anthony Ogogo, Aaron Solo in a singles match. And they actually had a pretty cool moment on the top of that bus on Dynamite. And I'm kind of into the factory. Like, I'm not so much QT, but I like that Nikki from Philly's getting some run. That's cool. He looks like Bruiser Brody's son. He's from Philly, so of course I love him.
Yeah, little Bruiser Brody.
Little Bruiser.
Brody.
Little Nikki from Philly. Hey.
That dude, I said it Thursday morning after Dynamite in group that I'm calling it now. We're going to get a bunkhouse match between Dustin and little Bruiser Brody.
And Nick. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be fucking cool as hell. Like a cowbell match or a bunkhouse match or something.
It's gonna be fucking crazy.
But yeah, the thing that I loved about that whole thing with Comoroto on Dynamite was no matter what they did to him, no matter what came off top rope on him, did whatever, he never left his feet. He just kind of stumbled. He's just like, no, got to come harder than that. I was like, wow. Like, that's no selling with a purpose. I like that. But, God, if I had to pick a winner here, I don't want to pick QT, but it makes sense. Because obviously Cody's probably going to be, you know, out for a while once the baby is born. And, and he hasn't been around much lately. And, you know, the factory itself has been building some momentum in his wake. So it would make sense for QT to win.
I can see that.
Hopefully with help from, like, you know, Nikki from Philly. Hey!
I could totally see that happening.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I just, you know, nothing against Cody. It's just, it's not your time, bro.
Yeah, Cody needs to just be putting people over, and not like in a bad way, but I mean, he wins matches and still puts people over.
He needs to be letting Pentagon beat him. Yeah, I'm going back to that. So does Orange Cassidy. Damn it! What the fuck?
It was a great match. He beat Cassidy.
Did he? I thought Cassidy beat him.
No, Penta beat him.
Man, I must have been... I don't know what.
Yeah, Penta beat...
I could have swore Orange Cassidy won.
Okay,
well, at least it worked one time then. I could have swore he did. But anyway, we have one match left, and it's a match that we've been waiting for a year and some change now, which is the actual blood and guts match between the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle. And I think the Inner Circle just gave the Pinnacle the man advantage during that parlay.
They did.
It was a wee bit unclear, but it looked like they just said, you take it, we don't care. So I guess the Pinnacle has the man advantage in this match, and if you're familiar with a War Games match, then you know how this is gonna go. Like, two people are gonna start, and then somebody from the Pinnacle will come in, and vice versa until everybody's in, and you can't actually win until everybody's in the ring. And then of course you can win by pinfall or making somebody surrender. Now that I got that long-winded explanation out of the way. As amazing as these promos have been, as great as this whole head-to-head thing is, where guys are squared off, and FTR is telling PMP, like, we don't need these guys to show up at Blood and Guts.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I was like, oh. But at the same time, I was thinking, they're right, you know.
Yeah, they are.
We don't need this PNP that can't win a match, and you know, stooges with Jericho. It does all these funny skits and all this other shit. We need the PNP that used to be LAX. Can I call you LAX? Because you're working with Impact now. Can we call you that?
Right.
We need LAX. We don't need PNP for this particular match. If you don't believe me, go back to the wars they had with the Lucha Bros in TNT, where people almost died in every one of them. That's who we need for this match. Okay? So as much as FTR might have sounded like disrespectful, you thought, oh, the shade. It was kind of a fact, though. Yeah.
Oh, the truth.
So, with all that, I think I know where Brucey's going to go with this one, but I'm gonna ask him anyway. Who do you see winning this Blood and Guts match?
I don't know, Dom. This is going to be a very, very...
I know. I put you on the spot. I'm sorry.
Can you please ask Wendy?
I would love to.
Oh.
I can't get her. I'm still texting her in the background. I'm like, bitch, wake up.
God damn. I don't know. This is going to be...
I know.
Fucking Pinnacle's going to dominate.
I was going to say, this is why we need 3 people, because Wendy needs to get her insight in on this. God damn you, Wendy.
Boo, Wendy.
But no, go ahead. Of course it's Pinnacle, and why?
Of course.
Of course.
Because that's the only way it can go. No, I don't know. They're going to show their dominance, and it's time for the old Inner Circle to cut some ties with some people, and then maybe regroup with some new members. Because Pride and Powerful needs to be on their own.
I guess. Well, yeah. I don't really care if they're on their own. They just need to be more LAX than P&P.
No, they need to be on their own. And like Sammy could even be fine on his own and just keep Hager and Jericho together. And
I love Sammy. I do.
Get a couple more people.
By the way,
can we go back to one of the very first shows where you said you hated the Trash Panda?
Well, that was the Panda. I'm not talking about the Panda God. I'm talking about Sammy. I love. Can we just take a moment to say that? Well, at least for me, to say that I love that Sammy came back out with the cards. I fucking miss that shit so much.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
It was amazing. I mean, outside of getting hit with a golf cart, that's like the best thing Sammy does.
No, that dude can friggin' go.
No, Sammy is great. I'm busting balls, but Sammy is great. I missed the cards like hell, though. That was a shoot. I really did. I loved when he came out and he had the whole thing on the cards. It hadn't happened for like 6 months at least.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a minute. So it was cool to see. And this one's a little tougher for me than it is for you because lately you started to see the inner circle become what people thought they were going to be. They've become more badass as they've gotten over with fans. They're actually like giving people swirlies, making people bleed, and hurting people like you thought they were going to all along. Like they started in the beginning of AEW, and then all of a sudden one day it just kind of changed and they became goofy and they were doing all these Zoom skits during pandemics and released the Hounds and sing-alongs and whatever the fuck else, Vegas shit. But originally they were badass, and now all of a sudden they are starting to look like they're badass again. So it's a tough one. It's a close match, but now that I've been able to say all that, I gotta think the Pinnacle wins.
That's goddamn right.
I don't think it ends the inner circle. I think it's gonna be a tremendous war, and I think there will be no losers in this match. Like we as fans will win. These guys will put on a tremendous show. There will be blood. There may be guts, and it's going to be a war. But the Pinnacle needs to establish themselves. The way to do that would be to take out the first OG badass faction of AEW. And then from there they can roll along, but it doesn't mean the inner circle's done. It just means now the Pinnacle has probably established themselves at the top. And maybe the inner circle need to worry more about, like, I don't know, Kenny and the Bullet Club. Because, you know, we're talking about the Impact title, but we've never talked about who's gonna take the AEW title off of Kenny Omega. What if we get Omega versus Jericho 3?
It's gonna be Hangman.
That's what I know Hangman's number one right now. I don't know if he's going to take it, but if we get Omega Jericho 3, you got Kenny and his boys, but then you got Jericho and his numbers, and they kind of you know, they kind of just equal out, and now you're down to a one-on-one match because you got the inner circle to take care of the Bullet Club, leaving these two in the ring. You might have to get Mike Tyson to go punch Don Callis, which would be great, by the way.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh my god, that would be television gold. I will run replays on that on this show the whole fucking time we talk. Like there will be another screen. There will be a fourth screen with that just on a loop. Just Tyson nailing the invisible hand with his very visible fist.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, and I don't know if you know this, but we had talked about the Acclaimed, and the gears in my head are moving slowly, but it just clicked in. In a recent interview, Jericho said Tony Khan had pitched to him, instead of naming his faction the Inner Circle, he wanted to call them Chris Jericho and the Acclaimed. And Jericho said, and I quote, it was kind of like a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers thing, like Chris Jericho and the Acclaimed. Because Tony had a thing for that name, which he saved for this tag team. And Jericho countered by saying he wanted to call the group the Fist because there was 5 of them. And when they came together...
They made a fist. That would have been so stupid.
I was going to say, the question becomes which one sounds dumber? Because if I had to pick between those two, I'm probably gonna say Jericho and the Acclaimed sounds stupider.
Well, who came up with Inner Circle?
I think it was, I have no idea. I read the quote in the interview and they didn't say, but eventually they settled on the Inner Circle. And I'm kind of glad that they did, because both of those are pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to throw that in there since we're talking about all this. I thought you may need a little history lesson behind the Inner Circle, you know, the inner workings, and that's how it came to be.
They're dead. The Pinnacle is gonna win.
You're the only one that doesn't care.
My Pinnacle t-shirt's on the way. You laugh.
Damn, bro. Seriously, I just had to spit that water on my hand. Because it was going to go all over my stuff.
You're laughing, but I'm telling the truth.
I'm happy for you, bro. just to make things balanced, I'm going to order an Inner Circle t-shirt.
Why I hate you.
We got to make sure everything's represented on Top Rope Wrestling Talk, you know. I know you don't see it that way, but there are people who do like the Inner Circle and things that aren't involved with MJF. There are some of us.
If it doesn't involve Pinnacle and MJF, it's not worth watching. Look, they get their,
so you never watch
highest numbers when MJF's on TV.
So you never watch Kenny Omega matches then?
I didn't say that.
Has nothing to do with MJF or the Pinnacle.
But the numbers aren't as high when
yeah, Kenny Omega doesn't get the ratings that MJF does.
MJF pulls the numbers.
Sure, Jan. Sure. That's why they call MJF the demo god.
He's a wrestling god.
Oh, pray for me, y'all.
We could go all night, bro.
We really could, but we really shouldn't, because I think we've pretty much covered everything we were planning to cover. I don't know, because my computer is starting to get a little squirrely in the background, so I can't pull our rundown up.
All right.
So I think we're done. Why don't we just let Brucey kick the social medias, and I'll do the rest, and then we'll get the fuck up out of here.
All right, I'm gonna do this.
Do it.
And fast. Like, you can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Invite yourself, we'll accept you. Come talk wrestling. You can find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. Come talk wrestling with us on there and check everything out. Then you can find us on Instagram at top_rope_wrestling_talk. Check us out there. If you want to buy some merch, yes, we still have merch and we're still selling merch. What?
Hold up.
Holy hell.
Hold up, because I actually have some. If you would like to buy our merch, like this lovely TRW t-shirt, and maybe get it custom made with your favorite host's name on the back.
There you go.
You can get it at
TRWT merch on Facebook, or you can find the merch lady, aka my sister, on Instagram at TRWT_merch. Dom, take it away.
Thank you, Brucey. Now, if you're looking for our audio podcast and you're catching this on YouTube, it's simple. Just go to anchor.fm/TRWT. You're going to see all of our platforms there, all of our various platforms except one, and that's iHeartRadio. But if you go to iHeartRadio and you search for Top Rope, we pop right up. You can listen there as well. A lot of people have, and we thank you. Internationally acclaimed audio podcast. Check it out if you haven't. Now, if you are listening to us on one of the many enjoyable platforms with the audio podcast, and you want to see our lovely faces, our merch, my background, Brucey's beard progress, whatever the case may be, please feel free to join us right here at Fox Den Productions on YouTube. Just search for us. This is going to be the flagship show. You're going to see a huge banner for Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We have a few other shows there that are kind of tabled at the moment, but I'm trying to get back into them. There are over 100 episodes, including bonus content from this show, that you're not going to get on our many various audio podcast platforms.
Yeah.
This show is actually rapidly approaching 100 episodes on its own. It's the flagship. There are two others. There's tons of stuff to enjoy in one place. Please go there, subscribe, watch, share it with your friends, put it on your own social medias, help us grow this a little bit more. We are well over 100 subscribers on YouTube. We have 200 followers on Twitter. We're over 400 members and counting in our Facebook group. We have started from like 40 people and grown to this point, and it would sure as hell help if you guys out there listening and watching would share this around and let other wrestling fans know, like, hey, these dudes, they're kind of dope. Because we are. I mean, look at us. Just look at it. Fucking dope.
Yeah.
So, that's it. That's all, folks. Everybody stay safe out there. Have a wonderful weekend. Please don't work too hard when you go back. Wear your mask. Get your shots. I know I got my first one already. And until next time, goodbye. Mwah. And good night.
And for Wendy, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Thank you. Bang! Peace, y'all.
Means money.
This is Zip Squad, bitch.
Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss. Burberry scars, shrimp and Perry on. Living like a comet, moving amongst the stars. $100,000 sports cars, silk massage, menage a trois. Yes, I've been a boss.